What's up guys? I thought I would do a video today talking about the inghams and my some of my issues with them. So obviously I genuinely don't like the way they speak to people. I feel like they speak to people like a piece of shit that they've just trodden in on the street is what is what I would say. It feels like it can't even ask a genuine question because even when people ask genuine questions, they get a nasty response from them. Like the other day, someone posted a comment about Esme's GCSEs, and the comment that the response they got was being told to mind their own business, which I thought was a completely unnecessary response. Like, I felt they didn't need to respond to that person telling them to mind their own business. I felt like there wasn't really any need for that. And this is the thing, like, this is why they get so much backlash, is because of the way that they do respond to comments, the way they speak to people. At the end of the day, the way they speak to people is actually appalling. And it's quite disgusting. And I know they think it's okay to speak to people like a piece of shit that they've just trodden in, but it's not. It also feels like they're always sort of talking down to people. It's almost like they're talking down to people, and it's just wrong at the end of the day. You know, if you guys will know me, I never really say that. I don't often say that anyone deserves to be paid a visit from social services or whatever, but I feel like Chris and Sarah really do deserve that, and I know that a lot of people come at me saying, oh no they don't, blah 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 blah, but this is just my opinion. And I'm not gonna apologise for voicing my opinion. I feel like that's why they piss off so often. I feel like they're just running away. They're shit scared because they know, because they're shit scared of getting that knock on the door from the police, social services, and the LEA. They know that at the end of the day, we all know that the police and the social services and the LEA will eventually catch up to them at some point, and they know that as well, which is why they're constantly running away. Because they know that the police and social services and the LEA will all hatch up to them at some point. It's only a matter of time before that happens. I think we all know that. I feel like that's why they hate being in the UK. It's like they're constantly on eggshells expecting to then knock on the door. That's what it feels like that they're constantly scared because they know that they don't get that knock on the door. It's hilarious, to be honest. Now that's one of the things that I hate a lot about, there's one thing I have to say. With Chris and Sarah I always get that fear that something bad is going to happen. And that's not a fear I get with many people, and I don't like to fear that. I don't like to fear that something bad is going to happen at some point. But it feels like with the inghams, it feels like I can't help but fear that, because it feels like like something is going to happen, like something bad is going to happen at some point. I think the reason that I hate them so much is because it feels like they're constantly gambling. They're constantly gambling with their kids' lives. It feels like they're constantly putting their kids' safety at risk and putting their kids' lives in danger. And they're constantly basically putting their kids in dangerous situations. And, now, it has started to feel like they're doing it deliberately, like they're intentionally putting their kids in dangerous situations. It feels like Chris and Sarah actually do want something bad to happen. It feels like they actually do want something to go wrong. It feels like they're sort of asking for that. They're sort of begging for something to go wrong. And I fear that my fear is that one day they will take a gamble, or they will take a risk, and it will backfire on them in the worst possible way. And I fear that one day, and I don't like to say this, but I do fear that one day their actions will end up having tragic consequences. You know, when I say tragic, I mean extremely tragic consequences. I don't like to think that, you know, something bad, that something terrible will happen, but with Chris and Sarah, it kind of feels like that's practically inevitable. You know, it feels like they want something, you know, extremely awful to happen. You know, and I feel like we know that they're literally running on pot luck at this point, and that, you know, I think everybody fears that their luck is gonna run out at some point, because people know that's gonna happen. People know that Chris and Sarah's luck is bound to run out at some point, and it will run out some point sooner rather than later. And I don't want to sound like I don't mean to sound like I'm trying to be negative about this, but sometimes you can't help but fear that, you can't help but fear that something is going to happen. I often get that fear that, that something is going to happen, and that something is going to go wrong. It just pisses me off, the fact that they keep constantly gambling with his lives. No, it's like, what sort of parent gambles with his lives the way that Chris and Sarah do? It actually angers me to think about the amount of times they've actually put their kids in dangerous situations. And yet, by some miracle, they've gotten away with it, and they've got, and nothing bad has happened. Thankfully, they have gotten lucky on so many occasions, and we all know that. We all know that they've gotten incredibly lucky on various occasions. But the sad reality is, they're not going to keep getting lucky. One day, as I said, they will take a risk, and they will take a gamble, and it will backfire on them, and and their actions, dare I say it, will have tragic consequences, and it will be the kids that ultimately end up paying the price. As I said, I don't like to fear that something is going to go wrong, but with people like Chris and Sarah, you can't help but fear that. You can't help but fear that it's only a matter of time before something does go wrong. It feels like their luck is running out. And something is gonna go wrong at some point. It feels like they're asking for that. I don't mean to sound harsh, but it's just. It just has to be said. I mean, it's like, it is very concerning, the fact that Chris and Sarah are constantly taking so many gambles with their kids' lives. And it's like, why would you do that? It's like, well, it's like, if you were a parent, it's like, why would you take so many gambles with your kids' lives? Why would you keep putting your kids in dangerous situations? Why would you keep putting your kids in situations where they could potentially get hurt or worse? And the thing is, people can't say there's no proof or there's no evidence of them endangering their kids, because that evidence of them endangering their kids and putting their kids' lives in danger and putting their kids' safety at risk is all on their YouTube channel. They've basically shown that for the whole world to see. They have shown that that this is the thing. Chris and Sarah have shown that blatant child endangerment. They're putting that out there on the internet for the whole world to see. So everyone has seen the amount of times they've endangered their kids and put their kids' safety at risk. It's actually scary to think about, the amount of times they put their kids in dangerous situations. And they keep getting away with it time and time again. They never face any consequences for that. I would definitely, love to see people report them to social services. I feel like that's what they deserve. I mean, the other day they was trying to put their 1-year-old, I think it was Aurora. They were trying to put Aurora on a snowmobile on her own. And I thought to myself, like, why, what, it was like, and I just thought to myself, like, why I think it was either Aurora or Mila that they were trying to put on the snowmobile on their own. And I sat there and I looked at that and I thought, like, what the fuck are they doing? Why are they trying to put a young child that age, on a snowmobile, on a flipping snowmobile on their own? You don't do things like that. Obviously, thankfully, the child didn't want the child in question didn't want to do it, but the fact that they were even thinking that was safe shows how fucking stupid they are. There's no decent parent would think it was safe to put a 1-year-old or a 3-year-old on a snowmobile on their own. That isn't, at the end of the day, that isn't safe. And I don't know what the fuck they were even thinking of. They're just so bloody stupid. Like, this is the problem with people like Chris and Sarah. They don't fucking care about child safety. They've never ever cared about that. They're showing, that's all they're really showing. It's just like all they're showing is how little they actually care about child safety. Let's put it this way. If they actually cared about child safety in any sort of way, they wouldn't keep gambling with their kids' lives. That shows how little they care about his safety, is the fact that he's gambling with their kids' lives and putting their kids in dangerous situations. They are a pair of idiots. I've called social services, in the past and made reports to them. I remember I called them once. I think it was last year or at some point. I can't remember when it was. I think it was around this point last year when they were. I think it was whilst they were away. On the road trip, on the Arctic road trip that they were on last year. And it was obviously whilst they were still living in the UK at the time. I made a call to social services one day and I was like to report what I felt were, were valid concerns. And the person accused me of having a personal vendetta against the family, and I just thought that was completely shocking. The fact that they would make that sort of that's what it felt like. It felt like the person was accusing me of having a personal vendetta against the family, and I didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate being accused of having a personal vendetta when I was just trying to raise valid concerns. That's North Lincolnshire's Children's Services, North Lincolnshire's Children's Services for you. They obviously don't care. I mean, obviously, I feel like we've seen enough proof that suggests that social services involvement is entirely necessary. I feel like they deserve to be paid a visit by, social services, the police, the LEA. And as I said, they're always running scared because they know it's only a matter of time before they get that knock on the door from social services or from the police or from the LEA. They don't want them hatching up to them, but one day the social services, the police and the LEA will all hatch up to them. I mean, the reason I'm saying the LEA should pay them a visit because I have genuine reasons to believe there's not a single ounce of schooling going on. I mean, Chris and Sarah don't even know how to homeschool their kids properly, full stop. Which is why I think that he should be in school. Because at least they'd be getting taught properly by someone who actually knows what the fuck they're doing. It's quite clear that Chris and Sarah don't have a fucking clue what they're doing when it comes to homeschooling. It's just ridiculous with them. Really ridiculous. But as I said, my main problem with them is the fact they think it's not the fact that he's putting it his safety at risk, and the fact that he's taking so many gambles with their child's safety. And one day, as I said, that will backfire on them in the worst possible way, and I kind of hope it does. And then maybe, just maybe, they might realise that they might realise why they shouldn't be taking so many gambles with his safety. It has to be said. I don't know what else to say. I honestly don't know what else I'm supposed to say, because it doesn't feel like there is anything else I could say that I haven't already said about this. And I know that people will, say that I'm being too harsh and will say that I'm being too horrible about it, but I'm not. I'm just saying how I genuinely feel. And it genuinely feels to me like they're deliberately putting it in safety risk, like they're intentionally putting his in dangerous situations. I can't be the only one who feels that way. And I know I'm probably not the only one that feels that way. I don't care what the IFAM have to say about this. The IFAM, probably the IFAM is so damn bloody hissy. I mean, how can you say they're not hissing the animal's backside? That's exactly what they're doing. I mean, it's like this popular panda pops, whoever they are, claiming that they don't support family. That I've seen this person commenting on Doodle's videos before he got blocked. And I've seen him commenting on the inghams vlogs quite often. I've seen this person commenting on the inghams vlogs quite often. Now, it's funny because this popular panda pops, whoever they are, has claimed that they don't support family vloggers, right? But that they are constantly defending the inghams. It's like, why are they? It doesn't make sense the fact they're defending the inghams when they've said that they don't support family vloggers. So if they don't support family vloggers, why are they so quick to defend Chris and Sarah when they're being called out? And surely if you didn't support family vloggers, you wouldn't be defending people like Chris and Sarah who are family vloggers, of course. Make that make sense. It doesn't support family vlogging. They don't support family vlogging channels, but they're willing to defend the inghams. Make that make sense. Hard not support family vlogging channels, but keep defending the inghams. It doesn't make sense. This popular panda pops is just an idiot, more like popular panda poop. I think that's what he should be called. I think we all know who he really is. I did at one point suspect that popular panda pops was just hissing him, and I'm starting to wonder if maybe it is. I kind of toss between it being one of the inghams or one of the Sullivans. It feels like they are, it's someone who used to comment. This is what popular panda pop said themselves, is that they are someone who used to comment on Doodle's channel, but I assume they got blocked, which is why I'm thinking it's that Supergirl fan. She used to be on Doodle's side. She used to be a moderator for their channel, but then all of a sudden it seemed like she just completely turned on the channel and completely, seemed to say a disliking towards Doodle, and I just thought to myself, and I always thought it was odd how, she used to be a moderator and then she just turned on him, she just turned on Doodle all of a sudden. Which is why I'm thinking that popular panda pops is actually a Supergirl fan, which I think there's reasons to believe it could be her. But who knows? I mean, it was funny the other night when as popular panda pop said that he has dirt on on that Mr. I think it was either Doodle or Michelle, aka Mr. Zart. And Christina said, well, asked this popular Panda Pops person to email them the dirt. And I just thought to myself, like, why would you do that? Like, why would you ask someone to email you the dirt on another person? Like, that just shows what sort of person they are. The fact that he would do that, the fact that he would ask somebody else to, ask someone to send and to basically email him the dirt they supposedly have on another person. But I think the problem with this popular Panda Pop, whoever they are, is they're all talking no action. I don't for one single second believe that popular Panda Pops, whoever they are, has any sort of dirt on either Doodle or Michelle, or Michelle and Jamie, for example. I have no doubt in my mind that there is no, as far as I'm aware of, there is no dirt on either of them. You know, the only one that really has any dirt on them, and we all know that, is Christina. You know, he's the only one with something to hide. At the end of the day, Doodle doesn't have anything to hide. You know, and I certainly don't think Michelle and Jamie have anything to hide. You know, so you know what is this dirt that they supposedly have? Well, I don't think they have any dirt at all, to be honest with you. I don't believe that for one single second. The finish with this popular Panda Pops is they're all math. And you can see that from their comments, they're all math, you know, trying to act like some big math. Or whatever, you know. I mean, here's people on Doodle on Doodle's videos of bullying kids, saying that people have said nasty things about the kids. As far as I'm aware, you know, I've always been reading comments on Doodle's videos, and I've never seen anyone, as far as I'm aware, I've never seen anyone post a negative comment about the kids. I've only ever really seen. Bear with me a moment. Oh, that's bully that's arrived. I'm waiting for my other one now, which will probably be here in the next couple of days. Oh, one of my parcels has just arrived. So that, obviously that's what my dog was barking at. So yeah, as I was saying, I mean, obviously, you know, I don't believe for one single second. I mean, I've never seen anyone that's bullying. You know, I've seen anyone post a comment bullying kids. Obviously, I don't know what else to say. You know, it makes me laugh, to be honest, it makes me laugh that people would even defend the inghams. I think a lot of people need to do their research on the inghams. As at the end of the day, we all know what Chris did, we all know what he is. At the end of the day, simple as that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all for another one soon. Bye bye.